Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as Parakram Divas on January 23rd in India, also known as Parakram Divas, which is celebrated on January 23rd. Every year it is an Indian national celebration and holiday marking the birthday of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, popularly known as Netaji, as a prominent nationalist, politician, and freedom fighter. The day was set aside by the Government of India on Netaji's 125th birthday to inspire Indians, especially the youth, to emulate his courage, doggedness, selfless service, and patriotic fervor, even in face of oppression. So on January 19, 2021, the Government of India, through the Ministry of Culture, issued a release that nation would celebrate the posthumous 125th birthday of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose starting on January 23rd, 2020. So this holiday was Parakram Divas for Parakram Divas, meaning Day of Courage or Day of Valor, to acknowledge Netaji's sacrifice and immense contribution to India's independence movement. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was born on January 23rd, 1897 in Cuttack, Odisha. His parents were Janaki Nath Bose and Prabhavati Dutt. A brilliant scholar and true Indian patriot, Netaji Bose obtained BA in philosophy at Scottish Church College under the University of Calcutta. He subsequently went to complete the Indian Civil Service ICS in England in 1919 and was fourth in his class with the highest mark in English. However, he resigned from his position in 1921 and returned to India because he didn't want to serve the British government. Back in India, Netaji joined the Indian National Congress INC under the tutelage of Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das, who became his political mentor. He was also highly influential by Swami Vivekananda's ideologies and considered him his spiritual guru. In 1923, Bose became the president of All India Youth Congress and later became the Congress president in 1938 and 1939. So in 1942, during World War II, Netaji formed and led a 5,000-man force known as Azad Hind Fauji, Indian National Army, in Southeast Asia with the slogan of Delhi Chalo. He also founded a new party, the Forward Bloc, to garner popular support to his home state, Bengal. Netaji reportedly died from third-degree burns sustained in a plane crash in Tohoku, Japanese Taiwan, on August 18, 1945. Although his demise was confirmed by the government in 2017, several conspiracy theories still exist about his disappearance. So Parakram Divas is a national holiday declared by central government of India to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The day was declared in January 2021 as a day of courage to celebrate Netaji's spirit of courage and patriotism and on January 23rd every year. And this day is celebrated to honor Netaji's courageous spirit, devotion, commitment, and selfless service to India. So the government of India also said that the National Day is aimed at inspiring citizens, especially the youth, to act with fortitude in the face of adversity, just like Netaji. So you can simply observe Parakram Divas by partaking in the national events as lined up by the central government, be a part of activities coordinated by the Union Ministry of Culture involving prominent citizens for the observance of this. A book based on Netaji's letters titled Book Letters of Netaji 1926 to 1936 was unveiled at the inaugural ceremony of Parakram Divas. You can read this book and other relevant books about the lives and times of iconic nationalists to understand his ideologies and tenets. How about educating others about the life and ideologies of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? On Parakram Divas, use this opportunity to teach about patriotism, speaking up for freedom, courage, and standing against justice in your school or organization. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was born in Cuttack, Bengal province and had 14 siblings born into a large family. Netaji thrashed a British professor, E.F. Autumn, in Presidency College of Calcutta in 1960 for his racist remark against Indians and was initially expelled from the college. Netaji was jailed 11 times for his anti-British radical activities and agitation for freedom. So before his INC presidency, Netaji started the newspaper Swaraj and later worked as editor of Chittaranjan Das newspaper. Forward, Subhash married Emily Shankel, a typist he had met on a medical trip to Austria, and they had a daughter, Anita Bose. So Netaji stood for India's freedom and liberation from British colonization and against oppressive forces. He was an icon, the true epitome of selfless service and patriotism. The central government of India aptly named Netaji birthday Parakram Divas because courage and valor were the virtues that nationalists truly lived by. Netaji's posthumous birthday is celebrated as a national day to honor and remember his dogged spirit and selfless service to India. So, according to the official statement by the Ministry of Culture, Parakram Divas is celebrated to inspire Indians, especially the youth, to act with fortitude in the face of adversity, as Netaji did, and to infuse in the spirit of patriotic fervor. Today is also commemorated as National Snowplow Mailbox Hockey Day in US, which is celebrated annually on January 23rd. The day is celebrated as a token of appreciation by the local community towards the hard-working snowplowers who clear the streets, roads, and sidewalks every year in winter. So what happens on this day is that snowplowers are given a clear shot at taking down as many mailboxes as they while snowplowing in the streets. The greater the number of mailboxes taken down, the more points they score. 5 points are awarded for every mailbox, and an extra 20 are given if the mailbox is thrown across the street. The one with the maximum points wins is given a reasonable award. Today is also commemorated as National Report Pharmaceutical Fraud Day on January 22nd, 23rd in United States. National Report Pharmaceutical Fraud Day is observed annually on January 23rd, and 10% of all Medicare funds are lost due to fraud. Reportedly, one of the largest culprits of Medicare fraud allegations have been pharmaceutical companies. The day is observed to spread the word that whistleblowers will get large rewards for reporting pharmaceutical fraud. Also, it gives information to the public on how to report one properly. Hopefully, through this initiative, pharmaceutical fraud will cease to exist with the help of public awareness. So, National Report Pharmaceutical Fraud Day was established in 2017 by Joel D. Hest, an attorney representing whistleblowers and helping them get rewards for reporting fraud. He worked in the Department of Justice Whistleblower Reward Office in Washington, D.C. for more than 15 years and worked on cases recording $1.5 billion. He wrote a free book explaining the whole process of detecting and reporting pharmaceutical fraud. He believes that more whistleblowers step forward, the less likely companies will try to cheat Medicaid. So, reportedly, 10% of all Medicare funds are lost due to fraud, and one of the largest culprits of Medicare fraud allegations have been pharmaceutical companies. The government is spending $650 billion a year to the Medicare program, so it means that in 1 year, 65 billion is lost to Medicare fraud. So this is a lot of money, and it makes fraud a national healthcare crisis. Every dollar on the Medicare program creates a difference. Today is also commemorated as National Pie Day in US, sponsored by American Pie Council. One of favorite desserts, guilt-free. After all, we all celebrate this day. While pie exists in some form all over the world, the US has an inextricable relationship with their flaky dessert, from Don McLean's epic song American Pie to expressions like American as apple pie. Our country embraces the pie, apple in particular, as a symbol of national pride. So preheat your oven or visit your local bakery, grab a slice and celebrate the simple, delicious. Today is also commemorated as National King Day on January 23. It is also commemorated as National Handwriting Day on January 23rd in US. If you keep a journal or a handwritten to-do list, you probably appreciate the tactile pressures and slow pace of writing by hand. Although it may seem quaint in a world full of digital devices and voice-to-text apps, handwriting is an important skill that can help sharpen your brain, slow the phonetic pace of your thoughts, and improve your memory. Right. Writing, the element that separates prehistory from history, is a skill that evaluates human citizen and allows us to communicate and trade on a large scale. Writing not only helps let us record our thoughts and feelings, but more crucially for the development of early societies. It gives us in a way to record transactions, count items, and pass on information to future users. The true origins of writing are murky, but we know it arose independently in several regions of the ancient world, from Mesoamerican to China. Hmm. The writing systems differ in other construction. Some rely on pictorial symbolism, others combine characters to form new meanings, and some use grammatical structures to create full sentences and depth of meaning. Alphabet-based writing systems use symbols to represent consonants, vowels, or syllable sounds, while semantophonetic writing systems have symbols that represent both sounds and meanings. Handwriting has many purposes in utility and record keeping, correspondence, literature and art, calligraphy, the art of decorative lettering elevates writing to an artistic art form. So examples of traditional calligraphy, including ancient It is also commemorated as National Activity Professionals Day in US. Which is observed on the fourth Friday in January and takes place on January 23rd this year. It's a special day to recognize and honor all activity professionals who care and provide active experience to residents in nursing homes around the country. So, did you know that the lifespan of Americans has increased in recent years? And due to this, there is a great need for patient centered elder care. This is where activity professionals come in. They inspire, engage, enrich, and make the lives of nursing home residents so much better that they are interestingly, it's because of them that many long-term residents have good quality of life experiences. Today is also commemorated as Measure Your Feet Day on January 23rd in US. Scrunched up in your face in confusion about why we need a day for measuring your feet, then measuring your feet is most certainly for you. The feet are one of the most overlooked parts of the body, and most people don't give any special attention to their feet. Measure Your Feet Day has a deeper purpose than simply getting people to whip out measuring tapes and compare feet sizes for bragging rights. Very few people know their true shoe size, and this means the most people's shoes are either too tight or too loose. This leads to pain and discomfort in the feet. Today is also commemorated as National Sticky Toffee Pudding Day on January 23rd. Considered a British classic by various culinary experts, sticky coffee pudding is also widely enjoyed in Australia and New Zealand as sticky date pudding, although the name indicates pudding. Some say this dessert is a cross between pudding and a cake, but it doesn't really matter. Today is about celebrating and enjoying a most sponge cake made by the finely chopped dates covered in toffee sauce, often served with custard cream or ice cream. Sounds really sweet and yummy. Today is also commemorated as First Philippine Republic Day on January 23rd every year. About 120 years ago, Emilio Aguinaldo declared the independence of the Philippines after 300 years of Spanish rule to make the country Asia's first republic. This day was signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte as a special holiday both in the country to commemorate the declaration of the first Philippine Republic, popularly known as the Maloas Republic on 23rd Jan 1899. Today is also commemorated as Big Garden Birdwatch on January 23rd in UK every year as there have more than 100 years since the Royal Society for Protection of Birds, RSPB, was created, and Big Garden Birdwatch was a project initiated in the UK that aimed to raise awareness about the protection of endangered species. Today is also commemorated as Vasant Panchami or Vasant Panchami, celebrated to herald the spring and usually falls in February, sometimes late January. This year takes place on January 23rd. The name holds a big clue about the date of celebrations. Vasant translates to the spring and Panchami means five. So this day is held on the fifth day of Hindu calendar. This festival is celebrated by Hindus all over the world and parts of Asia and across the world. They celebrate it for different reasons. For some, it is a harvest festival, others believe it signifies the spring season, and some worship. One particular legend associated with this festival deals with famous 4th century Sanskrit poet Kalidasa. It is said that his despair of getting dumped by his wife, he planned to end his life after jumping into a river. The goddess Saraswati emerged from those waters before he could have drawn it. One particular legend associated with this festive deals is the famous 4th century Sanskrit poet Kalidasa. It is said that the goddess Saraswati emerged from those waters before he could go through with it and asked him to only bath in the waters. As Kalidasa took the dip, the water blessed him with wisdom and he emerged changed. The festival is celebrated on various ways depending on the region religion. However, disparate the customs, one tradition is common. The color yellow. Yellow holds a special training for festival. People who wear yellow saris in Indian draped government eat yellow and sweets and food items and decorate their homes with yellow flowers. Saraswati's affinity for the color yellow is one reason it features so prominently during the celebrations. Another reason, fields around the India became the ribs yellow flower of the mustard crop in keeping the traits of golden godless being worship people celebrate with music, dancing, and a little bit of learning. So with this, today is also commemorated as National CRNA Week, Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist Week, which is celebrated from 23rd to 29th in the appreciation of members of National CRNA, Certified Registered Nurse, the Anesthetist, which is an alleged practical course from